I want to talk a little bit now about the Iranian nuclear deal, and joining me now is Alireza Jafarzadeh, member of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. It's good to have you with us.
Great pleasure to be on your show.
Always great to talk to you. Now, you have a new article coming out. The question is, can the Iran regime be trusted? It's an analysis of Iran's behavior and motivations during these nuclear negotiations. Based on what we're hearing, things seem to be falling apart as we speak, Ali. So the answer is, I guess, the Iranian regime cannot be trusted.
Absolutely right. In fact, the report that we just released today is a 30-page report that looks at the behavior of the Iranian regime during the nuclear talks since it started in 2003 until now. That shows basically there are certain rules governing these negotiations, and what Tehran has been pursuing in terms of its objective has been to maintain three red lines. A, not allowing access to the military sites. B, not allowing access to the top nuclear scientists or those individuals involved with the program. And the third is that no halt in the research and development of the program, which the three of them really are the core of the nuclear weapons program of Iran. That's the part that they want to maintain. And our study showed that the regime had used different tactics over the past 12 years in terms of buying times, dragging the IAEA, not responding to the key questions, basically deferring everything to the future, making verbal commitments rather than putting things down in writing, denying access to the inspectors to both the military sites as well as sensitive sites, while maintaining the talks and keeping them alive, because this way they can freeze the decisiveness coming from the West while getting some kind of a relief in terms of sanctions. The study shows that the intention of Tehran is not to abandon its nuclear weapons program. Rather, they want to maintain it while lifting the sanctions. That's the whole purpose of the program.
All right, let's talk about something Senator Roy Blunt of Missouri said, talking about the hostages as it relates to these negotiations. Has not really come up as a big part of this, but here is Senator Blunt.
What are we doing here, assuming that the Iranians will agree to something much more complicated when they won't let these four people go? Why wouldn't we insist on that?
Of course, he's talking about Jason Rezaian, his wife, as well as a American Marine, Mr. Hekmati. You know, why would they do something more complicated? Just like the senator said, we don't have anything to base this trust on.
Well, you're absolutely correct. You know what Tehran has been doing? They have been using all of those things as leverage during the talks, while officially these talks are supposed to be only focused on the nuclear issue, but in reality, by creating chaos in Syria, intervening in Iraq, killing its own population inside the country, taking people hostage, like those Americans you mentioned, Tehran is building leverage and using that. I think what the U.S. should do, and that's what Senator Blunt was referring to, was that the U.S. should step up pressure, using all the leverage you have in your disposal to force the Iranian regime to abide by its commitments. Otherwise, if you keep going back to the negotiating table with the very same tools, you're going to get more of the same, which is basically nothing. And Tehran will be further emboldened because they feel they can get away with things.
All right. Well, Ali, I want to give you a quick second. You know, you have a big online conference coming up. Folks, if they have questions about the Iranian nuclear negotiations, they can use the hashtag on Twitter, hashtag AskNCRI. And also make sure you go to Newsmax.com and check out an article we have up there about some close former Obama administration aides who are warning about this Iranian nuclear deal, saying the safeguards that are supposed to be in place, the safeguards that Mr. Jafarzadeh just talked about, are simply not there. That includes David Petraeus, a former CIA director and a U.S. commander in Iraq. Ali, great to see you as always. Have a wonderful day.
Great. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be on your show.